Hey guys, Sammy here with a lower body and core stabilization workout for you today. We are going to go through 20 moves, however it's just one round. There will be 1 minute on, 10 seconds off. So it is a rather quick workout, however it will be challenging. It's very low impact, so you don't necessarily need shoes. Half of it will be on our feet, the other half will be on the floor. So find somewhere you are comfortable going onto the floor. If you have a mat, go ahead and grab that. There will be a couple of exercises that are really going to put your stability and your balance to the test and really engage your core. For those few exercises, I would recommend having maybe a chair nearby or a wall out in front of you, not so much as a support system, but something just to assist you, just so you can make sure you're keeping your focus on those muscles that we're trying to target and not so much keeping your balance. Other than that, there's really no equipment needed for this workout. Just a little disclosure, I did have to go back and edit this video a little bit due to a little special guest appearance that you will see. I did get through the entire workout. It's just going to be a little choppy on the screen, but regardless of that, it's not going to affect your time on each exercise or your time off. The clock will be there as always to remind you when to start and when to stop, and I will be there to remind you of your body placement and make sure your form is in check and we are working the correct muscles throughout. So come onto the mat, the carpet, the grass, whatever you choose. Post your phone up so you can see it, your computer, put this on your TV, and let's get started. Coming onto the mat here, we'll just warm up our legs a little bit. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, and we're just going to do a little side to side lunge here. Nothing crazy. Go at your own pace. Find a stretch that feels good for you. Just try not to hold it there. We want dynamic movement in our warm up. We're going to warm up our hips a little bit in this next one. So we're going to flex that foot, inhale that knee up to the chest, and rotate it out to the side. Now for those quads, raising that opposite arm, opposite leg, feeling that stretch down your core. If you are following the 2-week tone up, how's your core feeling? We'll get it nice and warmed up here, also stretched out. Go ahead and pull that knee to your chest and hold it for just a second, alternating, flexing that foot. Inhale those arms up overhead, coming back into a lunge. Bringing those hands to the mat, we're just going to rock a little on that back foot, maybe turn that right hip out to the side and open it up. If your hands don't come to the mat, that's okay, bring them to the top of your thigh. We'll just rock a little more. Bringing that foot up to the top, switching to the left side, coming down, bringing your hands to the mat or your thigh, rocking on that left foot. Opening up that left hip, turning out to the side and back to the middle. all the way up. Bring those arms up overhead. Full body stretch here. For our first exercise, we're going to come into the squatted position like so, keeping those knees behind the toes. And we're going to start with our right leg. So we're going to come into that squat and raise that right leg out to the side. Returning to our squat. Inhaling down, exhaling all the way up and out. Raising your leg as high as you're comfortable with. Returning to center, really maintaining your balance throughout. Keeping that stability through that leg that is grounded. Try not to lean out to the left side too far. Keeping as straight of a line as you can down the left side of your body. Keeping that left leg grounded, come to your side. We're going to hinge at the hips, bringing that right leg back. A slight bend in that left knee so you're not locking it out. Keeping your hips square with the ground, and we're just going to hinge forward. Really contracting your left glute, your left hamstring, and pulling yourself back to center. Play with your balance a little more here, maybe airplane your arms out to the sides, or you can keep them in front of you and tap the ground each time you go down. You can try putting them on your hips. Just make sure you're keeping your hips square with the ground and not turning that right hip out to the side. Maintaining your balance, keeping your belly button in, core tight. Chair for this next one. Still with that left leg grounded, we're going to raise that right leg up, and we're going to do a single leg squat here with our left leg. And like I said in the beginning, that chair is there more for assistance and not as your support system. Really focus on powering through that left leg, pushing up and through. Don't rely on that chair. I don't want you to lean your weight onto it and take the weight off of your leg. I want you to use your butt to work your butt and not your arms to work your butt. Bring that right toe to the ground if you need to. Just make sure you continue to squat through that left leg. Keeping the chair there and that left leg grounded, keeping a slight bend in that left knee. Don't lock it out. Get that right leg back up. We're going to do some hamstring curls here, keeping that right leg as high as you can. We're really exhausting these muscles here. Make sure you're keeping your hips squared, engaging that core, and maintaining your balance as best you can. You can see how badly I'm shaking right now. It is not an easy workout. Keep going though. I know you're shaking and I know it burns, but we're gonna get through it. side. So we're going to squat and raise that left leg out, and we're going to repeat the process on the other side. So inhaling down, exhaling all the way up and out, keeping that chest high, those knees and toes forward, raising that left leg as high as you can, keeping that right leg grounded and maintaining that balance throughout. This time we're going to hinge at the hips and bring that left leg up and back, squaring those hips. Put your arms wherever you're comfortable, play with your balance a little bit, really focus on contracting that glute and those right hamstrings, pulling yourself back up to center. Keeping that right leg grounded, those hips squared, bringing that left leg up and back, bending that right knee. Work on that balance, keeping your stability. That chair or that wall is there to assist you. Remember, you're keeping the weight back on that right leg and not pushing it forward onto your chair or your wall in front of you. To our last exercise with our right leg planted, raising that left leg back up, hinging forward at those hips, keeping them squared with the ground, really squeezing those glutes and that hamstring to bring that heel to your butt, maintaining your balance, remembering to keep that weight on your right leg and not so much leaning into that wall or onto that chair, flexing that left foot hard and really pulling it up to your butt. So we'll take a stance wider than your shoulders, really tuck that tailbone under so you're not arching your back, and we're just going to come lower into squat position, and we're just going to raise and lower our heels, and we're just going to stay right here, keeping that core engaged, that tailbone really tucked under, and that chest high. Maybe pause for a second at the top, staying low. And if raising both heels simultaneously is too much, maybe you just try alternating one and then the other, making sure to stay as low as you can the entire time. Bring our legs in a little bit for this next one, standing about hip width, and we're going to come back down into that squatted position and continue with raising our heels, really flexing and contracting through those calf muscles, engaging that core, keeping that chest high, and make sure you're staying as low as you can throughout the entire movement. And again, you can alternate right heel, left heel if that feels better for you. We're going to come onto the ground for this next exercise, coming onto all fours, putting those knees under hips, palms under shoulders. We're going to inhale and drive that right knee up to the chest. Exhale, extending it straight back and up, really squeezing that glute, extending that leg back. Inhale, bringing it back to our chest, keeping our toes pointed the entire time, those hips squared with the ground, back flat, chest high, really pressing up and through your palms. Really focus on engaging that glute muscle and squeezing that leg all the way up and back. And these last 10 seconds or so, we're just going to hold our leg up there in the extended position and just pulse at the top point. Coming to a seated position for this next, left leg bent out in front, right leg goes bent behind you, keeping that knee behind your hip. Go ahead and lean forward onto your hands a little bit, and we're going to raise our entire leg as one from your knee down to your ankle and pulse it straight up. Pressing through your palms and keeping your chest high, remembering to breathe. Exhale each time you pulse up. Inhale, bringing it back down, trying to make as little contact with the ground as you can. Seated position. We're going to raise that right knee up, extend the leg out, tap the toe, and bring it back in towards your butt, keeping that knee up the entire time. all you're tapping down is your toe when it's extended. Put a little bit more pressure on that left arm to really hold your chest high, really focusing on those glutes and those abductor muscles along the outside of your right thigh, keeping that knee high behind your hip and pointing those toes. All the way down to the ground for this next. We're going to extend that right leg out, flexing your foot. Either keep your left knee bent behind you or bring that left foot in front, grabbing onto your heel, placing your head either on your palm or laying your head down onto your shoulder, whatever feels better for you. And we're going to raise and really contract those adductor muscles on the inner thigh, raising that flexed foot straight up to the ceiling or to the sky, and really isolate those adductor muscles. To all fours, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. We're going to repeat with our left side now. So driving that left knee in, inhaling that knee up to the chest, exhaling it out and back. Pointing those toes, exhaling it out and back, pressing up through those palms, keeping your chest high and making sure those hips stay squared with the ground so you're not rotating out to the left. She's making sure you're doing it right. Really focusing on squeezing that glute and extending that leg up and back. Again, for the last 10 seconds, we're just going to hold it at the top point and pulse with little micro contractions of that glute. Returning to our awkward seated position with that left knee back behind the hip this time, right leg bent out in front. Bringing some pressure onto your palms, and we're just going to raise and lower that leg as a whole, really flexing through those abductor muscles, keeping that chest high, flexing that left foot and raising that entire leg up as a whole towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Exhaling when you pulse up and trying to make as little contact with the ground as possible. Position, we're going to raise that leg up just as we were, extending that left leg out, tapping those pointed toes, and then bringing it back to the butt. Repeating the process, exhaling as you extend out, inhaling it back in, keeping your chest high, putting a little more pressure out onto that right arm, really exhausting those glute muscles, feeling it through your abductor muscles, all along the outside of your leg, really staying strong, pointing those toes. Coming down onto our left side, either placing your head on your palm or down onto your shoulder, extending that left arm straight overhead, putting that right foot either behind your left thigh or in front and grabbing onto your ankle. We're going to contract those adductor muscles of the left thigh, flexing that foot and raising it straight up, really focusing on squeezing the muscles of your inner thigh. Flat to our backs, we're going to place the soles of our feet together, legs go wide into a butterfly position, and we're going to inhale and raise our hips up, vertebrae by vertebrae, to a flat stomach, flat back position. Do not arch your back and push your belly into a rounded position. I don't want you to hyperextend your back. We're just going to come to a nice, easy, controlled, flat position. Hold for a second, really contracting those glute muscles. Exhaling, lowering vertebrae by vertebrae back to the ground. Inhaling, curling that tailbone, raising it back up. Pausing, exhaling it back down to the ground. Keeping the soles of our feet together and our legs wide in a butterfly position the entire time. Keeping your head, neck, shoulders relaxed into the ground and your palms pressed firmly. Staying on our backs for this last exercise, we're going to extend our legs straight up, pointing our toes, placing your hands either at your sides or out farther to the side, maybe in more of an airplane position, or if you're feeling pressure on your lower back, having trouble keeping your lower back in contact with the ground, place your hands into a triangle position and tuck them right underneath the tailbone. We're just going to bring the legs out wide and really contract those adductor muscles, bringing them back to center, alternating, crisscross, trying not to build up a momentum to where you're almost bouncing your legs at the bottom to bring them back. You want to be slow and controlled throughout the entire movement, so only go as far out as you can still be in control to bring them back to center. Hug those knees in. You did a great job today. Stay right here. Roll it out. Really stretch out those buns. Grab a water or a towel. We'll come into a little cool down here. Returning back down to your back. We're going to bring our right ankle to our left knee. Bending that left knee. Pressing that right knee forward. And if this is a good stretch, stay right here. Otherwise, raise that left leg up to a 90 degree and pull that left knee in towards you, deepening that stretch on your right side, finding a stretch that feels good for you. Extending that left leg out, right leg goes straight up. We're going to put our arms straight out to our sides, keeping that right shoulder in contact with the ground, bringing that right leg across your body, really stretching out that lower back. Maybe you bend your knee, raise it, lower it along the side of your body, always finding a stretch that suits you. Coming back to center. We're going to flip over onto our bellies. Bringing that left leg forward, right leg back into this low lunge. Hands to the ground or to your thigh. Coming up, keeping a gap between your belly and the top of your thigh. Really stretching out those right hip flexors. Pressing forward. Stay here a couple of breaths. Maybe you bring your right arm up overhead and deepen that stretch down the right side of your body. You can even press that arm up and over your head and really extend out to the left, feeling that stretch all the way down your side. On your next exhale, come back to center. We're going to place our palms down on the mat and bring that right foot forward. Inhaling all the way up, arms overhead. We'll exhale, dropping your belly to your knees, hands come to the ground, and go down into a lunge with our left foot this time. Rocking back and forth on that left foot, opening up that hip out to the left. Bring that knee down, we'll raise up to stretch out that left hip flexor with a flat back, keeping that gap between your belly and your thigh. And you can raise that left arm up and over your head, extending through your side. I got a little distracted here, so I did not do that part, but you definitely can stretch out all the way down the left side of your body. And when you bring that arm up overhead, glance up towards your hand, and it will help you to keep your chest open and not hunch forward. And on your next exhale, we'll come all the way down onto our backs, bringing that left ankle to the right knee. And if this is good for you, then stay right here, or you can try pushing that left knee forward. And if you want to deepen that stretch even more, you can raise that right leg up to a 90 degree and then pull that right knee towards you. Wherever you find yourself in this particular stretch, just stay here for a couple of breaths and really ease into the stretch. On your next exhale, we're going to drop that right leg flat to the ground, extending that left leg up into the air, and then we will airplane our arms out to the sides and exhale that left leg across our body, making sure that left shoulder stays in contact with the ground, really stretching out that lower back. And maybe your leg doesn't come up as high as mine. It might be down by your knee, or it might be more comfortable for you to bend your left knee. Find what feels good for you, and we'll just hold here for a couple of breaths. Coming back to center. Inhale your arms up overhead, feeling a stretch through your entire body. Maybe you close your eyes. Feel your shoulder blades relax into the ground, the tops of your thighs relax. Maybe you allow the sides of your feet to fall to the ground. Let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Really relax into this full body stretch and just stay here and relax into your breath. You did a great job today. That was not an easy workout to get through. We really exhausted those muscles and put them to work, and you did a fantastic job. So just take this moment to relax, give yourself a pat on the back. Awesome job for being here, for taking the time out of your day to do something for yourself and to be here with me and Emmy. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.